it's Ren, and as some of you may know, I've been playing since beta, and there's one thing that's always bothered me about the game, and it's the experience that new players get when they play the game. Because there's a lot of things that are confusing about the game, such as talents. Like, some of them are locked behind a level wall, and new players don't understand this. Like, they don't get what it even means. They're new to the game and they're not expecting all this most of the time. Like, leveling every gauntlet up to level 6 just to get the talent is a little weird. And fighting players that have the talents already, like even when I started in beta, when they had, you know, the talents that I didn't have, I was confused. I was highly confused. I was losing fights and I was just like, why? I don't understand. I did like so much damage to them. And as I got used to it, I started figuring it out. But talents are an extreme importance, and it helped a lot of new players out if they could experience all of them right off the get. But that being said, we're going to move on, and I think one talent that I would like to see go away is Vigor. There's nothing more confusing than expecting to do about 200 damage to somebody and then having to do 275 or 300 damage to somebody, depending on if they're using stone or not. I think Harmony's fine. The incoming damage reduction of 5% is a little... I feel like it doesn't really belong in a battle royale, but I can't really see it being that overpowered. I feel like scavenging should be like a base thing that everybody has. Whenever you exile somebody, you get like 25, 50 health, or one of the two, you know, or a certain amount of health, whatever works. It doesn't really matter to me. I think it's an extremely powerful talent, and it's almost a necessity in Clash. If you're not running scavenging in Clash, you're probably wasting talent points. Now, there is one more I'd like to address, and it's Foresight. I don't really see people paying that. Like, sure, it's useful, but I don't know how willing people are to use it. So moving on to the Spirit talents, I believe Ambidextrous should be available to every player on drop, because we're battle-hardened battle mages, you know? We can use both gauntlets. Why not be able to use both gauntlets to their full potential? And then one talent I would like to see removed, because I don't see it helping players, and it's more frustrating than any other talent as far as I'm concerned. It's like fighting someone and getting them down to 1 health, only for them to turn into this unkillable thing, as you see here, only to get wiped out by their teammate or by them in the end, is an extremely frustrating experience. And it being locked behind a level wall is even more frustrating to new players, because they don't understand why that's happening. And with that being said, like, I believe it's a great game. I love what they've done with everything. There's one graphical error I'd like to point out before I move on. And I've noticed recently I've been fighting gauntlets occasionally and not players. This dude loads in eventually. It could just be my internet, but I'm not sure. Another thing I'd like to point out is the total revamp of Castle Bogmore. It looks amazing. The whole location is different than beta. Everything about it looks incredible. You have to go check it out yourself if you haven't already. But there is one feature besides the loot and everything else that I really like about this area, and I would like to see more of around the map overall. It doesn't really matter where, but I enjoy it, and I think it's a really cool thing to have in the game, in a fantasy game in particular. And that's these floating islands. Like, they're absolutely awesome. When I first saw them, like, I know there's not that many, but like when I first launched the game and they put us in the tutorial or the practice range and all that, like, I love the aesthetic of having all these floating broken pieces of castle like, it made me question what was going on in the game so much more. Like, made me want to get involved in the story and figure out, like, what's going on. And another thing I'd like to see is more story implemented things on the map. Like, I'd like to see bones of dragons or something. Like, we don't have to have dragons in the game, but it would be nice, like, maybe if they're already extinct or something, it'd be cool to see. And one more thing I'd like to see is a respawn feature for squads or duos or whatever game mode they have besides Clash, because this game's kind of difficult, and getting away from somebody to reboot or respawn your teammate would be a challenge in itself. So I believe that, like, if you win that 1v3 or whatever it is versus somebody, you should be able to get your teammates back up or something. There should be a buyback system, a gulag, anything. And one last thing I'd like to see is a replay feature. I would really like to see what happened here. I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything, and he just kind of ran me over. It didn't help that I lagged a bit there at the end, but yeah. Well, that's been my 2 cents on what I think they should change or update or add. There might have been a few things I missed that I wanted to cover, but I feel as though that's short, that's sweet, and to the point. I love what Proletariat has done with the game, and I can't wait to see what comes in the future. There's a lot of potential for this game, and I want to see it grow, and I want to see it do well. If anybody's still watching, one more thing that I would like, that I just remembered, is some kind of practice, creative, whatever mode, where you can go in with a friend or a few friends and either 1v1 or just practice. Like, get some establishment, because you can't get that practice from the practice range or the tutorial. Like, fighting real players in this game is a totally different thing than fighting AI in this game. Nope. That's all I wanted to say. Y'all have a great day, and I hope to see y'all again. And if this video goes live today, I'll probably be on Twitch. I've been typically streaming around 1 o'clock, but today it wasn't so poppin'. Like, stuff wasn't going down, and I wanted to make a video. So if you're still here, you can go catch me live on Twitch. Well, I'll catch you later.